Hey guys, and welcome to another Casio watches showcase video. First of all, I hope everybody's staying safe during these crazy times. And secondly, if you haven't done so already, please remember to check out the Casio Watches Facebook group. The last video I put on here about a week ago, I was mentioning that we were on 550 members in the group. Today we're on just over 650, so 100 new members in 7 days is something I'm really pleased about. Check us out, come and join us. Please remember to answer the 2 membership questions. It's a place where you can share pictures of your collections, what you're wearing on your wrist today, or ask any general questions relating to Casio watches, and whether that's modern watches or vintage Casio, of course. So today, the showcase video is for one of my personal favourite watches in my collection, and that is the G-Shock 5610, or to give it its full title, a rather long title, the G-Shock GW-M5610-1ER, to give it its correct name. So this G-Shock, a lot of people have this in their collection or want this as part of their collection. It actually pays homage to the original square G-Shock, the GW-M5610-1ER, which was first produced in 1983. And if you own that, or if you've seen it, it's got this rather cool brick pattern almost around the face of the watch in this region here. I'll explain why this watch doesn't have that pattern later on. But for those people who like G-Shocks but always think, oh, they're too big, I've got small wrists, it's going to look ridiculous on my wrist. One of the reasons that the G-Shock squares are so popular, and the 5610 in particular is such a popular G-Shock, is because of the size compared to regular G-Shocks. It's a much slimmer watch, it's not as thick on the wrist. If I bring into view, and I'm going to move my little stand out the way now, if I bring into view this G-Shock here, you can see another one of mine. If I hold them side by side, you can see some real difference in thickness on this G-Shock. This round G-Shock is what people often think of as a G-Shock shape, but again, the square, it's not only a slimmer profile, it's not as bulky from the front either, so it's a really popular choice, the G-Shock squares. Now, you can get a lot of other G-Shock squares that have similar features to this one I'm going to show you today, but there's a couple of key features in particular which made me choose this watch above all the other regular G-Shock squares. So I'll leave that there for a moment and hope it doesn't fall off. Now, when I picked this watch up, probably about 5 months ago now, I'm in England, of course, and I managed to get this for around about £70 from Argos. I believe you can still grab this watch for about £75 or so from Argos and other shops in the UK, maybe even on Amazon. I know there's a lot of issues with stock and availability at the moment on Amazon and other places. Even on eBay, you can still pick it up for pretty decent prices, and normally even the used examples, they're not battered, they're not beaten. This watch can really stand a lot of punishment and can take a real beating. So if it is something that you've been on the fence about getting, and my showcase video today makes you really jump in and want to purchase this 5610, then please have a look on the Argos website as your first port of call, but I'm sure you'll be able to get one for a good price. You should easily be able to pick one up every day of the week for much less than £100, so please have a look and hopefully you'll get lucky and get a good deal on it. Now, what I will say before I jump into some of the features on this watch, I normally wear this watch at the moment with a pair of bull bars that you can see here. If I get the chance, I'll put this on later. Now, this one I purchased from eBay. I think it was about £3.20 with shipping from China. So I normally wear this on the front of this 5610 just to stop it from getting knocked. If I do bump it against a surface, it's the bull bar that takes the brunt of it. I was going to buy one from a company that I found on Instagram, an American-based company, but they wanted 3 or 4 times the amount that I paid for this, plus the shipping on top. And at the end of the day, unless I'm completely wrong, theirs is just a piece of bent metal, which is what this is, a piece of bent metal. So I'm not sure what the differences actually were. This is a great fit considering it cost £3.20. I also, at one point, I had, from a different Instagram company that I found, I managed to get some adapters for this 5610 that fit here and here that allowed me to wear this on a NATO strap or a Zulu strap. It was a perfect fit, brilliant for a short period of time. I think unfortunately when I was fitting the bars myself and putting these adapters on, I think I damaged the holes where the spring clips go slightly. So after I was wearing it for a few days, it kept popping back out. In the end, I actually went to a watch repair shop and the guy there fitted the bars for me. I thought, fantastic, that sorted it. I had it on for about 2.5 weeks, and then one afternoon I jumped into my car, and as I put my hand on the steering wheel, I heard a little clicking sound and the spring bar had popped out again. So at that point I thought, I'm fed up of this, and I ended up putting the original strap on. The reason I decided to put a Zulu or a NATO strap on this, and I've had both on at different points, was I originally felt the strap was quite uncomfortable, and I'll show you when I take it off this padding later why some people think it is a bit uncomfortable. But actually, when I wear it now, I don't feel it, and actually I prefer it on this strap. It's really hard wearing. It's not going to pop off the spring bars on this original strap, and it's a really, really good fit in terms of the look. I mean, the dots here that you have on the actual strap itself, this part here is part of the watch face, so they all blend in with each other. It's really nice. So I just wish this was either more squared off like the G-Shock square itself, or was in a black metal, but that doesn't really matter because you hardly see that when you've got it on your wrist. So this 5610, I'm going to talk about some of its features and why I chose this watch over some of the other G-Shock squares, and also some of the features that this watch has that all my G-Shocks have, and something I'm pretty obsessed with. So first and foremost, and I'll get my little pointy pencil out to show you some of these. I mentioned earlier the original GW-M5610-1ER. Around this part of the face here had an almost like a brick wall pattern, which looked awesome. The reason this doesn't have it is because just inside here, where I'm putting the pencil around, it's actually got solar panels. This particular G-Shock square, this 5610, has tough solar, and if you've watched any of my other videos on my G-Shocks, you'll know that tough solar means that this watch is a solar chargeable battery inside it, so you never have to replace the battery. Casios are world famous for their long battery lives, 10 years plus, minimum of 10 years, most of them. This one though has a rechargeable solar battery inside it, and here are the solar panels. And you might also notice it's got L, M and H along there. Mine's on medium again. It's not always very sunny in England, unfortunately, but this watch will keep charge and it'll either go into the high, medium or low category. Even on the low category, it will be absolutely fine. I'm hoping I can get into the high category when we get into the summer over here. Keep it on the window ledge, full sunlight, and really charge it up. When I go to bed at night as well, it's got another cool feature. It's got the feature where, just pointing to it here, look, it says PS. PS stands for power save. When I put the watch in my watch box at night or on my bedside table, turn the lights out, go to sleep, the watch does the same as me, it goes to sleep, it shuts itself down. If you wake up in the middle of the night, flick the lights on and have a look at it, you'll see that it's got a blank face. It will only turn itself back on if you start moving the watch around and spinning it around and rotating it, or if light starts hitting the screen and it will come back on. I think also if you press one of the buttons, it will turn itself back on as well. So it's got a great power save mode. Something else which is pretty cool on this one, it's got the A.EL, which stands for auto illuminate. That means that if you press and hold the illuminate button and then this A.EL symbol appears, auto illuminate will engage every time you rotate your wrist. So if it was dark in here and I've got this on my wrist, when I roll my wrist round to check the time, the screen will auto illuminate for a few seconds, so you don't have to press the button itself. So that's a great little feature. And again, one of my favourite features on this watch and the other G-Shocks that I own is, if you just look right where I'm pointing here, RCVD, that stands for received. What this particular G-Shock has, and the original 5000 didn't have, is the ability to update its own time. So where it says here multiband 6, you might just be able to make that out there in the shadows, multiband 6. Each night and if I hold this button here, it should be able to tell me what time it happened. There we go. So at 2 minutes past 2 this morning, and it always happens at 2 minutes past 2, this watch will update itself against the atomic clock. Wherever you are in the world, as long as you have an atomic clock tower, or whatever it's called, receiver, signal in your country, it will update itself to that. So this watch has the ability to update itself to the exact second, and then that means that I can set all my non-multiband Casios and other watches against this time, so I know it's accurate. So that's a really brilliant feature. So coupled with the tough solar, the multiband 6, they're probably the two main features that made me want to choose this watch. And I'll go as far as to say that out of all the watches I own, this is my favourite, and this is the one that I wear usually the most. And when I say usually, I'm not wearing many watches at the moment. I tend to keep each day wearing this very basic Casio here, the W86 I think it is. That's because I'm still going into work at the moment, so when I come home from work, I'm just jumping into the shower, and it doesn't matter if this gets shampoo, shower gel all over it. I don't want to risk any of my other watches at this moment in time. So this 5610, I've gone through some of the more advanced features of this watch. One thing I will say, these buttons here, they're really sunk in, so you can't press them by accident, but they are a little bit tricky at times to press. Now I've seen some people on YouTube review videos saying, oh, you can't press the buttons on the 5610, you've got to use your fingernails. That's not true at all, and I'll prove that in a moment, but they are a little bit tricky to press. Personally, I'd rather have them more difficult to press so they don't accidentally get pushed and start scrolling through the functions and messing about with things during the day. So if I just go through the basic features, hold it so we can see it clearly. So I'm going through the modes here. So we've got world time mode. Now, again, coupled with the fact that we have the atomic, the atomic timekeeping, the multiband 6, you can actually change the world time. So at the moment, I've got my second time geared up for Madrid, because that's where I was hoping to go as part of a cruise during my summer holidays. More than likely that's going to be cancelled now, of course, with everything that's going on in the world. So you can actually scroll through all the different locations around the world, and then the time will automatically update to that. So you've got your home time, and then you've got your time in the different country. So that's a great little feature, the world time mode. Next one, we've got our alarms, multiple alarms, of course. Then we have the stopwatch. Then we have the countdown timer, and then obviously back to our time mode. And again, it's got that cool little feature where when you go back to time mode, the beep tone changes so that you know you've gone back to the home screen. And if you notice, I'm just going to check something actually, because I can't remember. If I'm on stopwatch or if I'm on countdown timer, unfortunately the 5610 doesn't still show the real time in the corner like some of the G-Shocks do. So that's one absolutely minor downfall to this otherwise absolutely awesome watch. So back into the home time mode there. Okay, just glancing at my notes, see if there's anything else I want to talk about. I'll pop it onto my wrist in a moment so you can see. As I take it off this watch box pad, I'll also point out here if I can get the right angle. Look at the back of the watch. I mean, I know that you don't often look at the back of a watch, but this is a really lovely machined back. It's not just a flat pressed piece of metal. This is a machined back. You can feel it with your fingers, you rub your hand over it. It's a really nice feature on this watch, almost like a hidden feature. The fact that you can see this machined high quality finish for a watch that you can easily pick up for £70–75 brand new. So there we go. Now, as I mentioned earlier, one of the slight issues with this watch when I first started to wear it, you can see that there's little raised bumps on the strap. Now, I wear my watches reasonably tight. I haven't got a very thick wrist. My wrists are about 6 3/4 inches, so just under 7 inches. So when I wear the watch, sometimes I used to find the watch a little bit uncomfortable if I had it on all day, and they would leave a mark. But actually, the more I wear it, the less I notice that. And most of the time, it's quite a comfortable watch. It's got a nice little feature here with this part of the strap. This shape here really allows it to bend around your wrist, and again, it's not the most comfortable watch I own, and that was one of the reasons that I put the Zulu and the NATO straps on it. But really, you don't notice it, and the more you wear it, the softer the strap becomes, and it's a really great watch to have on your wrist. And just on the bar here, you can see Casio stamped onto the this part of the watch. Just pop that there. I'm going to take off my trusty GW-M56, put it to one side, and there we go. Now I don't think I'm going to bother fiddling about and putting the bull bar back on, so pop it onto my wrist for now and give you the wrist shot so you can see. So again, as I mentioned earlier, my wrists are about 6 3/4 inches, so it's got a really nice fit around my wrists. One other cool thing about this, if you really want to wear a Casio G-Shock day in, day out, and you work and you've got a work shirt on or something like that, a shirt sleeve will fit over this watch without any issues whatsoever, unlike this G-Shock here. If I ever wear this at work, there's no way that my work shirt is fitting over this beast. So this one is a much slimmer watch to have on your wrist. Look at that, really nice fit. I think you can tell from the way I've spoken about this watch in my video that it is possibly the favourite watch that I own. Great piece and great price. Just going to pop it back off my wrist for the final part of the video and try and get the bull bar on quickly as I can. Quite simple really, you just pop it over, straighten it up, there we go. Okay, a £3.20 pair of bull bars fitted to the G-Shock 5610, perfect fit, looks really smart. And now obviously if I'm hitting it against something, it's hitting on the bull bars rather than the face of the watch. Obviously this watch is designed to be knocked about and stand up to it, but giving it a little bit of extra protection with the bull bars on there. Now I'm at home quite a lot at the moment, like most people are, apart from the odd few days when I do have to go into work. But one danger of that is buying things and spending money on things that you wouldn't normally do if you were going out and about to work and other places. So I've actually got another couple of Casios coming in the post this week, hopefully. I know the postal service is changing a little bit at the moment, and I don't want to bombard it with non-essential purchases, but I bought 2 more watches, and whenever they turn up, they turn up. I'm not too concerned about that. There's more important things going on. But the 2 watches that I have purchased that will be here in a week or so are the well, it's both iconic in their own rights really. The first one is the AE 1200, the AE 1200, or the Casio Royale as it's been affectionately dubbed. So I'll probably share a video on that when I get that. And the second watch, another absolutely classic retro piece, is the Casio A168W. So 2 new watches to add to my collection, something a bit different for my collection. I've got a lot of watches that are black G-Shocks, or even a black Duro I've got as well, but these 2 silver pieces will be something different in my watch boxes, and I'm really looking forward to getting those. So I'm going to leave the 5610 here before I close the video. If you have one of these, let me know in the comments below how much you like it, how much do you wear it, is it the watch that is it your go-to Casio in your collection? If you're hoping to get one, again in the comments below, let me know how much you managed to pay for your 5610. And as always, please make sure that you like the video and subscribe. And again, remember to check out the Casio Watchers group on Facebook. Let's see if we can jump up to 700 members or even 750 members by the next time I do a video. And just thinking about it, I think my next video, I might do something a little bit different, and I might have a little look at the iconic Casio Duro, which is a really stunning piece for the price. It never fails to amaze me when I look at it, how cheap that watch is, even brand new. Absolutely unbelievable price, an absolutely unbelievable watch for that money as well. So again, stay safe all of you, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Thanks.